You know that feeling, the one where you look in the mirror and you barely recognize the person looking back at you? Like somewhere in the middle, taking care of everybody else, managing all the responsibilities of life, keeping it all together. You realize that you lost touch with who you really are. And it's so interesting how it just gradually happens. Slowly over time, you create this disconnect from our true self. And we hardly even recognize it. It's like the slow fade. It's very subtle. And we don't even really notice it's happening. And one day, you're just going through life, doing your normal thing. And suddenly you realize everything's crazy and overwhelming and busy. And you realize, like, this is my new normal. This is my life every day, going, disconnected from who I truly am at the core. It's like we've accepted that this state of disconnect is how life is. It's like we wake up in the morning and we go through the motions, we check off our to-dos, we're functioning, we're achieving, but we always don't feel like it's enough. There's something missing. We're never achieving what we really desire in our heart. And there's this missing piece inside of us. There's the missing piece that's the real you. It's like you, the one you used to be, the one you knew at a deeper level. You knew what brought her joy. You knew what made her happy. The one who used to have all the big dreams and goals. And she's there. And she still has all those big dreams and goals, but it's like it's snuffed out by the busyness and the overwhelm and the do. And in the Pain to Purpose program, we begin by gently exploring all these points of disconnection. We talk about and we uncover exact moments of when you started to step away from your true self. Maybe it was when you took on a role that everybody expected of you, or when you started saying yes to absolutely everything when your heart was actually saying no, or when you look at all the past emotional trauma that you've been through and you can just see, oh, I see. It was in those moments of carrying all of that emotional weight and baggage that I got disconnected and lost. And it's not about blame and regret. It's all about self-awareness. And that's a huge piece. And that's a huge piece because that's where the shifts actually start happening. And so we go on this guided journey and you'll start noticing all these little disconnections in your life. It's like turning on a light bulb in a room in the dark that you've been going through the dark every day, trying to function, and then someone flicks the light on. And when that happens, when you see it, you can't change it. You've seen it. You are reconnecting. And you're having all these internal shifts. And layer by layer, you slowly start rediscovering your true self. And so we look at where you got disconnected and why, and most importantly, is how to find your way back to you. So it's not just about making changes and transformation, but moving from that hollow, disconnected feeling to living with intention and purpose. Waking up each morning feeling aligned with who you truly are, and not just who you think you should be, and not just doing what you think you should do or others tell you to do, but being able to make decisions from a place of deep inner knowing, not obligations. Being energized by your daily choices, not drained by your daily choices. Being intentional, being aligned, feeling like you have purpose again. Reconnecting to all those parts of you that you thought were lost or that you forgot existed. And it's possible. This is what happens when you give yourself permission to explore, to question, to look at. And when you allow yourself to move from all that pain into purpose and intention, you start from going from survival mode to truly living. You start letting go of all of those survival techniques that you have been using. You have to abandon that old identity so you can shift into who you truly are. And so these aren't temporary changes. These are profound breakthroughs that align with who you truly are and your authentic self. And it's not about what looks good and perfect on the outside. It's about what's so deeply inside of you. Reinvention is for anyone at any age, anytime, anywhere. I see you. I see you. There is no expiry date on us. Only if we wait too long. But you can rediscover who you truly are at 50, 60, 70, 80, 40, 90. If you're still alive, you have the opportunity to. So my reinvention journey began on an unexpected way through surviving terminal cancer and a heart transplant. And today I stand before you not just as a survivor, but as somebody who learned that deepest, painful, most part of us, it actually holds all of the seeds to our greater purpose. So I don't know what brought you here today or how you're feeling right now, but maybe you're completely and utterly emotionally exhausted, not just from being busy, but from being everything to everyone all the time. Maybe you have a little small voice inside you that says, I know there's so much more out there for me. I shouldn't complain. I should be content. I'm told to be content with what I have. But I know I have all these dreams and visions for my life, and I just don't feel like I'm fulfilling them. Maybe you've been the strong one, the one who holds it all together, and you've built layers and layers, like most of us, of protection around us to keep ourselves safe. It's a survival mode. Half of our life we spend in fight, flight, or freeze, putting this layer onto ourselves to keep us safe. It gave you safety and security, but now something's shifting. These layers that once protected you are the things that are keeping you from experience all of what life has to live and give you. All of this emotional clutter and old beliefs and outdated stories and fears and perfectionism, they don't serve you. They've become heavy. So I want you to know that you have permission to start again. You have permission to question everything you ever knew about yourself. And you have permission to shed all the layers that no longer serve you. Learning who you are isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's so critical. Because as you discover all these new parts of yourself, you remember parts that you have tucked away, dreams you put on hold, creativity you've pushed to the side, joy that you thought you lost. They're still there. They're waiting for you to reclaim them. And how many times have you said, someday I'll do that again. Someday I'll do what I want to do. But what if today was the day you decided to change that story? The journey to self-discovery, the inner work, isn't always comfortable. Most likely it's not. It means sitting with uncomfortable truth, going deep into our shadow, our inner child, acknowledging pain that we've carried, It's not something to just overcome. It's a doorway into what's next for you. So every challenge you faced, every role you play, every mask that you've worn fakely, pretending, they're all part of our story. They're not the end of the story. They're the beginning of something new, authentic, truly aligned with who you're meant to be when you notice these patterns and behaviors and stories that you carried. I want you to know something. This just isn't about change. It's about transforming. It's about having a breakthrough. It's about moving from basically survival to actually existing and living. Not just existing on the planet, but existing to truly live. In the Pain to Purpose program, we create a sacred space for this very journey, a space where you can safely remove all of this emotional clutter. You can learn about your authentic self and how to shift into that and how to even know what that is and what it feels like. You don't have to have anything figured out. You just have to be willing to take the journey, to take the first step towards choosing you. That's all. So what would it feel like to finally choose you? To give yourself permission to start again. Your time is now. Your journey can begin again. So if you're feeling called to this beginning of this transformation, then trust that inner nudge, that inner knowing. And if you need a sign, I'm giving it to you. I invite you to join the Pain to Purpose program. This is a deep dive into authentic living. This isn't for dabblers. This is for people who really want to do the inner work and be willing to take 100% responsibility for their life and really look inside at yourself at a deeper level. We're going to transform challenges into stepping stones and discover who we truly are beneath all of the layers of the emotional clutter. So if this sounds something like you really need and you really want to do, and you're tired of just existing and repeating the same day over and over and over again, then there'll be a link below and you can book a free call with me to see if it's for you. And I'll leave a link to the program. If you already know 100% I'm in, I know I want this, then you can do that. But if you want to book a call with me to be sure, you're welcome to do that. So I hope that you choose you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.